All right. Well, we are live. Episode number one. Welcome everybody to Catholic Music Channel. It is a brand new channel here. Well, the channel has existed, but we're kind of shifting it into something to do more with music. As a lot of you know, who are subscribers to Enoch, who joins me, traditional Catholic rapper joins me here. My name is Elijah Yassi. If you know me from my YouTube page called Underground Catholicism, I've also been on Reason and Theology. Used to be a contributor there. I've been on William Albrecht's channel. If you've heard of these Catholic apologists, I do a lot of apologetics. I haven't done much lately, but I'll pop in at William Albrecht's channel here and there. But we're not really here to talk about that today. Today, we're talking about Catholic music, Catholic hip hop, our backgrounds, our present, our future, our past, where we come from, who the heck are we, what have we done, why are we here. I want to start off here by letting Enoch introduce himself and his background. And by the way, before we do that, a lot of people don't know this, but we are actually twin brothers. This is going to be a shock to a lot of you because we don't even look like brothers. We barely look like cousins, but we are actually twin brothers, fraternal twins. So basically, go ahead and start off by telling us a little bit about you and your background, and then I'll do the same thing, even though our stories are pretty much similar. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it, Elijah. Yeah, Enoch here, traditional Catholic rapper. Also run the Instagram page, the Holy 40 Project. Enoch. Also was doing trad cat skits for a little while, but I just wanted to come out here and talk a little bit about what this channel was about. Also, our past, as Elijah was talking. We started rapping when we were eighth grade. Elijah, right? I think it was around the eighth grade we started. It was really during
It
the
was like the
golden
summer.
era of hip hop
It was like the
in the
summer
90s.
of, I'm sorry, it was like the summer of going into eighth grade. So we haven't even gone into eighth grade, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I remember that. There was a classmate of ours at the time who was, we were talking hip hop because it was the golden. If you remember, it was the golden era of rap, the 90s. That to me was the best decade of hip hop. And that's when the music industry exploded. You had the West Coast, East Coast battle. I don't know if folks here are familiar with that. You had, the Pac and Biggie disputes and things like that. That's when we really started getting into it. This was before we got into our faith, obviously. And we started writing, music. We just, it wasn't good at all. It was just us, writing, eighth graders trying to get better and excel in our pen game. And it wasn't until I believe in the mid 2000s, 2005 or so, when we started recording music more as a hobby, and it was secular. Remember, it wasn't so much Catholic music or Christian, although it was clean. It wasn't faith directed. So what I ended up doing is, I think it was like 2011. I'm sorry, 2010. We went and switched it up to Catholic music. We towards the tail end of the secular album that we were doing, we ended up dropping that and then scrapping that and starting a new project. And if you remember, we did the album Spirit versus Flesh. We started it in about 2009, 2010. We were discovered by a record company around 2011, if you remember that. And they signed us to a record company. They helped us complete the album, and then they put it out. And due to some unfortunate events, it didn't work out with the record company, like these things mostly don't. But we still had they gave us the master, they gave us the rights of that album. When we put it out, most people don't even know that the album was out. It's called Spirit versus Flesh. It came out 2012. And 2013 and 2014, we were kind of doing shows across San Diego. I remember we performed in Florida and in other states as well. So that's what really was our story. We went from starting to rap in the 90s, going off to the mid 2000s, going secular, working on our pen game, starting to record, and then moving towards Catholic. I remember we actually veered off the faith for a little bit, became Protestants for a little while, and then the church fathers kind of brought us back. And it wasn't, for me, it wasn't until I believe 2014 when I found the tradition. And we ended up taking a 10-year hiatus with music. And I got married. I had kids, and you got married and had some kids. I had two kids now, Elijah. So it was more difficult for us to make music. I was working 3 jobs in San Diego. It was a little more difficult. So I'm telling you, I never thought that I'd be back to writing and recording music. And Traditionis was one of those things that was an absolute accident that happened. And I give my thanks to our good friend, Michael Lofton with Reason and Theology. If you remember, Elijah, Lofton was the one who sent over the beat. I don't even know how he knew I rapped. I think you told him, or that we used to. And Lofton came out and he said, "Hey, I got a beat that I made. Can you put a verse in it so that I could have it as my introduction for Reason and Theology?" This was about March of last year. And I said, "Of course, let's do it." I put something together. I didn't have much. I didn't have any equipment. I just put something together as best as I could, and that sparked something in me again. Lofton really sparked something in me again. I started writing again, and I remember, Elijah, I don't know if you know this or not. I remember going back and forth from work in the evening when I would leave youth ministry and go home. I'd still be in contact with the old producers, and they would send me a lot of these instrumentals, and I'd put them in the car, and I would make songs in my head throughout the time that I wasn't making any songs. So I never really stopped making music in my head. I kept writing, I kept doing it, but I never put anything down, never had the time. And then when I moved to Kentucky, I had some more time in my hands. I'm homesteading now with my family, and that's why I wrote that song, "Don't Need a Reason." That song is literally my life, leaving the city, coming to a homestead, close to a Latin mass, living life more simply. And yes, I am drinking Four Roses bourbon here. I'm in Kentucky. I got to drink that bourbon. So it's the best in the world. That's what Kentucky's known for. So I got to rep my state, my new state. So Traditionis was an accident. I had no idea what direction I was going to take it. It was one song at a time. And 6 months later, I came up with the album. I was satisfied with it. There were a couple of songs that weren't supposed to be on there. There were last minute records that I had put on there, and one of them was "I'm So Tired," which was dedication to Our Lady. The second one was "Be Like You," which is imitation of Christ. So those records were not supposed to be on the album. I just threw them in there at the last minute, and that was great. So that's pretty much my story when it comes to music.
Absolutely. And I would probably just almost ditto that, right? I mean, it's pretty much the same journey from start to finish. Like you said, 2012, which is crazy because 10 years later, you come out with an album, coincidental 10-year anniversary, second album release. And a lot of folks don't know a lot of this stuff, right? They've seen you do skits, they've seen you do maybe a song with Michael Lofton. And a lot of new subscribers, they subscribe because of Tradiciones, which is your new album, your new Catholic rap pop R&B album that you came out with in April 19th, just about a couple of weeks ago. So just for those who are a little confused, Enoch here released a solo album. Excuse me, my throat has been killing me. That's why I'm drinking R&T. So yeah, that's a little pun. He came out. Sorry.
Look at that. I'm reading some of the comments over here. If you see, Grappler said, "I really feel your song. Don't Need a Reason. My wife and I left the city a year ago and started homesteading and started going to TLM. That's literally my life for the last 2 years. And so I get it. I'm glad that you like the song, that you can relate to it. That's why I wrote it. I wrote it literally for my family. It's a song that's near and dear to my heart because of what we've been through the last two years coming over here. So I appreciate that. So thank you. As Elijah continues his cough fest, I'm gonna keep the show going. Yeah, I hope he's okay. He's gonna be fine. He's got that tea to take care of him. Get some honey in you, but so uh, too many cigars for Elijah. Abel says. Abel, I remember Abel back in the days, man. Abel used to make beats, and Abel used to rap too. Abel's got skills. Let him fool you. So, kind of wanted to explain to you guys why we made this channel. Catholic music is more in the back burner, unfortunately. You have a lot of Protestant rappers like Lecrae and folks like that. You got Protestant, what they call praise and worship music. You got the secular world that has the machine and the money behind it, and they really push the music onto everyone. It's catchy. It's done well. The production is out of this world. They have the money. They have the machine behind them. But Catholic music really hasn't had its its bright light, unfortunately, because there are some great Catholic musicians out there. We've heard of some musicians like Matt Maher, Jackie Angel, and folks like that, Ike Dolo. But we really haven't heard a lot of Catholic rap artists, pop artists, R&B artists that come out into the scene and make music that can kind of go toe to toe with the secular world or even with the Protestant world. You know what I'm saying, Elijah? You have Foundation. When we took our break in 2014, they kept going. Kudos to Foundation. They were doing great work with Diverse and Thought and Val Morale, C26, and my boy John Levi. Those guys were making music with Padrecito, but with us, we took that break, and here we are. We're back at it again 10 years later, and what we really want to do, what we really want to put forth and on the table is we want to uplift Catholic music, give it the bright light that it needs, so that we can compete with the secular and the Protestant world and put out good music that could, go toe to toe with them.
Right. Yeah. We're not just throwing a blind dart with this. We're trying to, we have a purpose. We have a goal here. Like you said, we're trying to secular rappers. That's why, your album, and I apologize about that earlier. My throat was just killing me. And I read some of the comments about bourbon and stuff. I was kind of cracking up while coughing, got teary eyed and stuff. Abel says too many cigars for Elijah. That's probably true. I need to stop that. I'm not sick. I just woke up a couple days ago and my throat was raspy. It might be because I started recording some music. It's been like 10 years and my throat was like, what are you doing? You're too old for this. So yeah, the purpose and the goal of this channel, the music, the stuff that we're going to be coming out. And I see we got William Albrecht commenting, my boy William Albrecht here. The purpose is to compete with these rappers, not just in trying to get people to listen to us versus them, right? Obviously that's the main goal, right? But this is a mission to draw people to the faith, and if you are in the faith, to at least have something you can listen to that doesn't sound like it's coming off of like one of those old 8 tracks, right? It doesn't sound dry. It sounds like something that you can bump in your car. Sounds like something that can be on the radio, but it's not, and it's hip hop, Catholic hip hop, right? That's really what we're trying to do, and it's not easy because a lot of people don't know this even exists. First of all, you got to make that awareness out there. Hey, you guys, we're out here, we're doing this. Everybody, listen, right? You got to get that first, and then number 2, they got to like what you're putting out. Now that there's ears to the songs, do they like it? Or not, right? So you got to make good music to get people to listen, keep listening, have an alternative to the secular stuff. So that way, we're not supporting the secular people, the rappers that talk about, women. And it's funny, I haven't listened to rap in a long time. I
Right.
actually stopped listening to it. It's been, I don't know how many years. Like, it's been like years, right?
Right. Other than the gym, being same here. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And sometimes at the gym, I will listen to rap occasionally, like very rarely, right?
Old school stuff.
Old school stuff. Yeah, I mean, when I do listen to it, I'll listen to like Lecrae and what's his name?
Flame,
Flame. Yeah,
Ambassador. Yeah.
Protestant rappers, which I
Right.
think Protestant rappers, like you were talking about earlier, they have it down a lot better than the Catholics do, right? We're just not there. We're not even close, right?
Right.
Their music is just incredible. They know what they're doing, and we're over here. And when I say we, I'm talking about all of the Catholic hip hop put together. There are some that are doing really well, that know what they're doing. They have good music. And then there are some that are just lacking, and they need to kind of step up and compete with the secular in the sound of things, not in the lyrics, obviously, in the sound of things. You talked about our album back in 2012. If you don't mind, I'm going to play a song from the album, a lot of people's favorite song on there. Do you think we should do that now?
Yeah. Yeah. Play a song from the 2012 album. Because I
Yeah,
think because nobody here has heard it. Because we
right.
took such a long break, we weren't promoting as much, and I think people might be interested. They had no idea that you had an album out 10 years ago. So
Right.
play a song from that album to show that the difference between some of the songs in Traditionis and some of the songs we had on Spirit versus Flesh.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are probably shocked. They've seen my face maybe in doing apologetics. It's like seeing Scott Hahn rapping or something. Not that I'm like Scott Hahn or anything, but it's just like weird, right? This guy is like, talking about papacy and immaculate conception, and here he is 10 years ago used to do rap and stuff. But I'm gonna play, and this is the album cover of. Let me share my screen. Notice that you guys can't see that yet, so let me go ahead and share this. Stop screen, share screen, share screen, share screen, boom, and boom. Okay, so this is the album cover of the old 2012 rap, and you can see it's called Spirit versus Flesh, and the idea here is here I am back 10 years ago. This is me in the spirit carrying myself in the flesh, kind of like dead. And the same thing with you notice the name Elijah and Elisha. You probably, who the heck is Elisha? I thought his name is Enoch. So I'm Elijah. He used to be Elisha. He changed his name to Enoch, which is the prophet Enoch, and also eternity Enoch's. But I'm gonna play the song, and then it has lyrics as well. So go ahead and enjoy the song. Now, before I continue playing, can you guys comment and tell me that you can actually hear that before I play silence for 4.5 minutes?
I couldn't hear it.
You couldn't hear it. Okay. I
Mhm.
think I need to do it again, because I think I need to share, and I made the same mistake before on my channel. I need to share with audio. So screen
Right.
sharing, blah blah blah. Some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio. Okay. Let's see. This one, share system audio. Share. Let's try this again, and let me know if you guys could hear it.
How you doing, Haley?
What, can you guys hear that? Perfect.
Yep.
Yo, you ready? Let's go. I follow Christ, yes. Not Jehovah. Nope. We on one accord, yes. Not a Range Rover. He's the air I breathe. He's the life I live. Won't sell my soul, can't put a price on it. My mind's on you for eternity. Yes, join my Christian brothers, yes. Holy fraternity. Y'all just wasting minutes trying to stop a Roman. If his soul is dark, he's like the next morning. I put my faith on a life for the Christ. Y'all just straight falling. I'm empty and broken. The world is falling. In you I put my hope. In you are the light. I'll never stop trying. To wanna be beside you. See
judging me. If anybody's saying it's a spiritual being, is anybody praying for this miracle, please? You know I trust and have faith. It's not just to get saved. It's not just the customs we play. It's not just because of your grace. I live in the flesh and I can't deny it. I'm serving of death like Ananias. It's not best what my hand desires. So I guess I'm a man on fire. I have the truth and I come back for lies. My attitude is sometimes denied by me, and I guess I need change. This is confession, this is the real thing. My apologies to those that did wrong. No one can solve the problem this long, and I'm sorry if I ever set a bad example. Wanna stand out like an Adam's apple. From now on, be unique and truthful. Guardian screaming, you need the truth too. So I listen in the passion tradition, and I'ma understand, so I'm grasping the mission. I'll never stop trying. To what brings us to you. See what you see, just see it. I'm not place for you that I won't go. Sometimes it's all that I follow that road. 'Cause I know you'll be waiting with open arms. I'm not place for you that I won't go. Sometimes it's all that I follow that road.
So this is probably a good place to stop here. I mean, we're going to go to a bridge and the chorus again. It's just going to be a little repetitive. So, so that's the song from Spirit versus Flesh. That was the album that we're talking about from 2012.
That was lead single.
That was probably everyone's favorite song. It was just, hype. We performed that song really well, where people, the strobe lights, the colored lights and all that stuff. It was just really fun to do. We used
that
to do
was
these
a fun
shows.
song to perform. We always started the show with that song. Yeah,
absolutely. So now, we're talking about the past, and that was one of the songs we did. That was one of the albums. And I see we have some Found Nation in the chat.
Legends
Yes,
in the game.
absolutely. I mean, I don't think there is a group or any Catholic artists individually that have done more for Catholic hip hop, that have had more, I would say, attention, views, and things of that sort, right? Like they've just been, and not to mention, the music is incredible, right? They do some really good stuff. If you haven't, if you like Enoch stuff, if you like this song that you just heard, you got to listen to, Found Nation. I'm laughing because a friend of mine just popped in the chat here.
Found Nation, man. Those guys were doing it. Those guys were held on to they held on to it. They kept doing it consistently. They had the most outreach out of any group out there, man. Legends. Those guys are legends. And a little birdie told me that they're going to be back with some more records. Sweet. And I can't wait for them to do it. This is what this whole channel is all about. This is what this movement is about. We're trying to change the what's called the economy of supply and demand, to no longer to get you guys to have to work, to conform yourselves into a secular music or secular. So people enjoy the genre of rap or pop or hip hop or R&B. They enjoy that, and for some folks who are worried about the lyrical content from the secular world, because it's not conformed to Christ, it's more conformed to Moloch, right? And they don't want to conform their conscience to that. And we want to bring something to you guys. Found Nation has been doing it. We really want to kind of highlight and to show an outreach of, listen, there is Catholic hip hop, there's Catholic R&B, there's Catholic pop, there's Catholic music, there's Catholic folk music out there. We want to give you guys the artists. We're going to be interviewing artists on this channel. We're going to be giving you guys artists that you've never heard of before. We're going to be displaying their music, doing reaction videos to their music. We're going to be giving you guys everything that has to do with Catholic music. We're even going to be bringing on some Gregorian chant folks, right? So I can't wait for this to continue, because it's going to be great. So if you want to transition on to what
you're talking about a little bit. I'm sorry.
If you want to transition on to the comparison between Spirit versus Flesh and production,
yes,
and Traditionis, it's incredible the stuff that that has been built up throughout the years.
Yeah, I mean, you only get better, right? It doesn't matter how long you stop for, you don't lose it, right? And then you notice that you started writing and you started recording, and you're like, wow, I can still do this. Not only that, but I can do it a lot better than I used to. Um, so the album Tradiciones has a different feel than Spirit versus Flesh. Spirit versus Flesh, that was our first album. It was kind of like a little bit of it was kind of everywhere, right? You had like hype songs, and you got like Sincerely, that was a song that I did by myself, and you got Good Man, that was a song you did by yourself in the album. You could see like the spectrum of things where it's like a love song that you would hear in a kind of a club versus Sincerely, where it's like an emotional rap song about where I just had like everybody in mind, like all the Catholics. Where people don't talk about this a lot. They talk about like conversion to the faith, but when you're converted, people don't talk about like the struggle that you go through. And I wrote it with everybody in mind, as a Catholic, the journey through being a Catholic and struggling. And like you say in your song, they expect us to be like Moses when you sign that Christian enrollment, right? So you have like similarities between the two albums in content, but when you look at Enoch's album, it was like uh, it was like Spirit versus Flesh on steroids, lyrically, production, um, beats. It was just out of this world. And I'm probably being biased here, but it's probably the best Catholic rap album, in my opinion, that's been out there, right? Maybe because it's new, and I'm starting to listen to it, and it's maybe because it's like one of those, you're in the moment. Maybe not. I like the album, and I like the direction it went. And I think, and I'm seeing this, it's starting to spark a fire in the Catholic hip hop world. People are starting um, to get inspired to do it again, right? We took a break for 10 years, and you come back, drop this album, and people are doing the same thing now. They want to make music again. I had my friend Abel bust out his beat machine yesterday, and he sent me like a little beat he did. That was kind of cool. I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is happening again. And I feel like I'm in my 20s, and obviously I'm far from that. Um, I'm working on a solo album as well. I completed a song already, which is why my throat is just killing me. Hopefully I can make it through 12, 13 track album without losing my whole voice. But so be it. I think my wife would love that, so I won't have to talk anymore. But yeah, it's really cool. You kind of sparked that fire, and you talked about how it started. You talked about why you started it again. Tell us a little bit about your future. We talked about our past, we talked about our present, the future, specifically not about the channel, but more about music. What do you have planned? I know you're working on a second album, but are you going to stop at number 2? What else is there?
Uh, so yeah, I am working on a second album right now, which, in my personal opinion, I think is even better than Tradiciones. To be honest with you, I think the songs that I have lined up. So right now, I have 9 songs that are pretty much 25% done. That's how I like to work. Lay the foundation, and then finish the song. I think this one is going to be even better than Tradiciones, in my personal opinion. So, Chris, um, so. Uh, the second album, I dropped Tradiciones 2 days after Easter. I will be dropping, God willing, I will be dropping the second album 2 days after Christmas. So December 27th will be the release date, and we'll see if I can get everything done by then, which I shouldn't be a problem. So I'm looking forward to that. This new record, this new album, is going to be a little bit more different. There's going to be various topics. I got a pro-life song that I'm working on in this one. I got a song that opposes the Great Reset, and more talks about, that's the song you're going to be on, and that talks about more of the social kingship of Christ here on earth, what that looks like. I got a song that's called Temptation, which is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. It's kind of like a screw tape letter song, where the demon is instructing other demons on how to tempt a single person, a married person, a seminarian and a priest, and so there's 4 verses there that goes on with the song. So trying to get that finished. So that I'm proud of that one. I got a song on Mary as well. I got a song on Confession on this new album. I got a song called "Long Live the Patriarchy," which is an anti-feminist song, which talks about the proper hierarchy of the nuclear family. So that's what's coming up next on this coming album. The name of the album is a secret. I'm not telling anybody yet. I'll release it in due time. I have a name for it. And trads, and those who are traditional, those who go to the TLM, are going to love the name of this new album. It's gonna be hilarious. So Rick, the Armed Catholic is here. You're the greatest host, man. What's up, brother? So that's the future, and then I'm gonna be moving more towards the third album. As I'm working for, this is the trilogy. The third album is what I really want to do. Is I want to get some time to know other artists. The third album is I want to make about 15 to 20 songs on this album, featured every Catholic artist that I could find. I don't care if it's folk music. I would combine it with rap. If it's Gregorian chant, we're gonna put it together on some type of dark rap beat while I'm rapping over it. Brothers from Found Nation, yourself. If there's Hollow Beats, the Mags Music. So she has a unique sound. Hollow Beats has a unique sound. If there's artists out there that are Catholic that are doing it that you guys think would be great for this third album, that third album, I'm calling it Rapostolic Succession.
And by the way, that name actually came from the person in the chat. His name is Christopher Vanderveen, throwing jokes at me specifically, and the guy is hilarious. He's a friend of mine. He actually came up with that name right after our first album, 2012. Right. He's like Rapostolic Succession. And that was actually going to be the name of our second album that we were supposed to do, that we we recorded songs, but we never actually finished it. So we kind of like put it in the we kind of scratched it all. But he came up with it as a joke, and we're like, wow, that actually sounds pretty good,
Right.
And the reason why that's going to be the third album is because we want to we want to come out with a few albums, right? You want to come out with 2, I'll come out with maybe 1, maybe 2, we'll see how it goes, to get people aware that this exists, to get people aware. You're welcome, everyone. And once people are aware, then we want to start promoting Catholic artists. That's our goal. We want to promote Catholic artists like Found Nation. Obviously they probably don't need promotion because their name is, I would say, a lot bigger than ours. But if this goes anywhere, people are listening to this, and I know Tradiciones is starting to get a lot of traction. People are listening to it, people are loving it. I get messages all the time. Hey, this is your brother. And you even got the attention of the football kicker from the Kansas City Chiefs. What's his name?
Harrison Butker.
Yeah. He liked the songs. He liked the album, and he said he wants to get it to be played at halftime at one of the Kansas City Chiefs games. I don't know if he was joking or not, but it'd be great if he's serious and they actually do play it. That would be incredible. And that's what we want to do. The album is on Pandora, it's on Spotify. And if you look at the Spotify's numbers on the album, you can see the monthly listeners increasing by about 50 to 100 a day. He's almost at 1,300 listeners. Obviously started at 0 just a couple of weeks ago. That's not bad for Catholic hip hop, right? And the more people subscribe to his music on Spotify, the more algorithm will picks it up and recommends it, right, as the next song when you're listening to Catholic or Christian rap. And that's what we want to do. We want to start getting people to notice, hey, Catholic rap is here. It didn't die. Here we are again. Foundation kept it alive while we were sleeping. And we want to kind of give it a boost and take it somewhere.
I was on Spotify today listening to John Levi. Today I was listening to a song called Rosary. If you guys can check out Foundation on Spotify, please do. They're an incredible group. So yeah, no, but you're absolutely right, Elijah. It's taking taking the whole community and competing with the secular and the Protestant world. As a matter of fact, I've been trying to keep this a hush because trust me, I've been looking, Elijah, I've been talking to you about this. I've been looking for a Protestant rapper to do a kind of a fun rap battle and have it hosted at Reason and Theology. So if you guys know any Protestant rapper that's down, because I've asked about maybe 7 or 8 of them and they've refused. So for one reason or another, and I'm asking if you guys know any Protestants, I think it'll be really fun to do a Catholic rap battle between the two ideologies and theologies, to go back and forth, do it live, have 3 rounds. That'll just be super fun. And I would represent Catholicism, and they would, man, that would be so much fun. If you guys know Protestant rappers out there that are willing to do this, let me know, because it'd be one fun event at Reason Theology, and we would have a great rap battle. I think everybody would tune in. You've got the Protestants will tune in. I think even Scott Hahn will like this, because it's a debate forum. So that'll be fun.
Chris is raising his hand. He wants to volunteer to be, because Chris is
almost Catholic.
I call him Pratholic. He's Protestant and Catholic. I don't know if he knows what he is. But yeah, it's kind of like, you have like these debates between Protestants and Catholics, right? And you want to take that and say, hey, how about we do a rap battle between Protestant and Catholic, where you're rapping about how, your church is the true church, why their church is not the true church, and kind of going back and forth, 3 rounds. That would be really fun.
Right.
And you never know, that might start something where it's like a Mormon versus Jehovah's Witness.
That's what I want to do.
It'll be hilarious. And it could be like a genre in and of itself, like a little sub genre of not battle rap, but Catholic or religion battle rap. That would be really fun. If you guys know anybody, let us know in the comment section. We'll try to contact them. If you guys, like Enoch said, this channel is going to be interviewing other artists. Like, we got to get Foundation in here. We're going to interview them one by one, probably multiple times, right? Obviously, if they're willing. We already got John Levi who wants to come on, but we want to get every single one of them. It would be an honor to have them on and interviewing them. And not just rappers. We want to interview Gregorian chant people. We want to interview, people that do some kind of what's the person's name that you want to bring on? He has a cool song called what does it sound like? I Smell Like Mortal Sin or something like that.
Yeah, Hollow Beats. He's got a really unique sound. It's really cool. He's a traditional Catholic, and he's got a song. I think it's called Saint Catherine of Siena, where the song says, "Take a bath, you smell like mortal sin." And he's really unique. So we'll get him on here so we can share his music as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's going to be fun. Now, going back to the Spirit versus Flesh album, just real quick, I just remembered, if you guys want to listen to the whole thing, we didn't mention this, it's on Spotify, it's on Pandora, it's everywhere, wherever you can find it. It's on YouTube. Check it out, and check out Tradiciones and listen to the evolution of how we can take this to a new level, right? Spirit versus Flesh, that was our first one. That's your second album by yourself, and you took it to and I like the Foundation says we're down. That's amazing. There you guys have it. I mean, they came on, they said we're down, so now we got official interviews set up live as we're talking. Yeah, I mean, you took it to another level, and now we want to take that level and say, hey, why are we stopping here? Let's take it to another notch, right? Let's take it another notch, and do something better than Tradiciones. Let's do something better than Spirit versus Flesh. And this is not competition. We're not trying to compete against other rappers. We're saying we want to make this sound good so people can listen to it and make it a ministry, right? That's what the whole point of this is. So any thoughts, any final thoughts or anything here? Maybe we can take some questions from the audience. I don't know what kind of questions people want
Yeah.
to ask. I think Haley has one, but we'll ask her question. But any final thoughts here before we take some questions?
I don't know if you want to just give an example of the spirit versus flesh introduction this, and if you want to play Litany of the Saints just really quickly, I think
yes.
that'll kind of show people the production. And now, mind you, I recorded that whole album with a USB mic, Audacity as my recording platform, and I used a sock as a pop filter. So
yeah, that's crazy, right? I mean,
right.
It just goes to show you, before we had better equipment, when we were, we're making music together. By the way, it's funny because people don't know this, but Spirit versus Flesh was made without us being in the studio together.
Never.
Ever. We were never, ever in the studio together. We always recorded separately. We always did things separately. And I think it might have to do with being twins and kind of knowing what the other person is kind of thinking, or what kind of person is feeling about the song, or what direction they want to take it. But there's a song we did called Chain Reaction, and this is crazy. There's a song called Chain Reaction.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Alicia recorded his verse.
Right.
And it was about this person who struggles with pornography. And then he ends up doing some horrible things to a girl, right? And that's how the verse ended. And then he left it there. And then I picked it up, and I was like, what direction should I take this?
It was inspired by inspired of the life of San Maria Goretti. That's where the inspiration came from. Yeah.
Yes. And where I took it is the second verse of the song. You guys can listen to it. Alicia had no idea, or I say Alicia at the time, he was Alicia. He had no idea that that's the direction I was going to take it. And what I did is I took it and made it about a boy who's physically abused by his stepfather. And then you don't know that it's the same boy, is the same person that we're talking about in the first verse, where it was a teenager, I think maybe in his young 20s. You're cut out there, Enoch, if you want to come back. But anyway, he'll come back. Are you sure? Go ahead. Say one more time.
I said until the end of the song, you don't know it's the same person.
Yeah, and then the third verse, we go through. The boy grows up, and then you realize that it's the same person. But that's not the crazy part. If you go back and listen to the song, I take his first verse and I just copy and paste it, and I put it in the third verse. So he's saying the same thing to make you realize it's the same person. It hits better if you actually listen to it than me explaining it. But it's just crazy because, like I said, we never went in the studio together. You did your thing, I did my thing, and we came out with an album. So if we do come out with an album in the future, we live in two different states, it would be no problem for us, right? We can easily do that because it's we never even were in the studio together. So
Elijah, if you don't mind me saying, because we both have different strengths when it comes to the studio, especially when it comes to music. You are more you're more in tune with lyricism, so you're more interested in writing multiple syllable rhymes and lyrics, trying to connect double meanings and things like that, so more poetically, and trying to get the flow going. Whereas myself, I'm more concerned of getting the right beat, putting the melody to it, making sure the hook is right, structuring the songs, knowing there's going to be a reserve bridge here. Where's the hook going? Where's the verses? How long are the bars? So stuff like that. That's where I'm really into. So it made it easier for me to go into the studio first, structure the song, and then you came in and wrote your verse, and then we're able to have more of like I guess you could say, an eagle vision, to understand how the song could be better structured, and we put it together that way. So that worked out.
Right, and I'm laughing at Chris's comment again. Sorry, but absolutely, yeah. That's you took the song, you wrote the song first. You took it to what kind of vibe it has, what direction. I didn't really care much for those things. I just wanted to just rap, right? I just wanted to write lyrics, like,
Right.
let me know what
Right.
verse I should spit it in, a second verse, third verse. Usually I know because you recorded in the first verse, and that means, okay, I'm in the second one. You recorded the third verse, that means I'm in the first.
Right.
That's how I know. And that's all I wanted to do is just write. And the song that I just recorded a couple days ago, you know, I keep saying Alicia, but Enoch hasn't heard it yet.
Right.
I'm waiting for it to be mixed and mastered, and it's a song, and the reason I'm bringing this up because my style is what you're explaining, but it's I want to shift it a little bit to content topics, right? Caring about what topics is not just like writing things that sound good on paper or on music. It doesn't just sound good
Elijah,
because there's all
if you
these.
don't mind, Elijah, we have some breaking news. Somebody said right here. There's some good news. Scottish opinion has been leaked showing that it's likely that they have voted to overturn Roe versus Wade. Political just reported. If that's the
Wow.
case, glory to God, praise be to Jesus, and I'll have a sip to that. We can save as many babies as possible.
Amen to that. Well, that's incredible. If that's, I mean, that's true. That's incredible. Praise
Thank you,
God. And
thank you, Robert, for that
yeah,
information.
thank you.
But thank you.
That's incredible. So yeah, I mean, I was just saying, the song is about this atheist who struggles with depression and just like emptiness, and then he becomes Catholic through the Eucharist. He kind of remembers the little tidbits that people were telling him about the faith, and his misery just led him. He's like, I keep knocking and Christ is not answering, and then he realizes the misery is Christ knocking on his door. And then he goes to church and blah, blah, blah. So, it's going to be more, and I say this because it's going to be more evolutionized than spirit versus flesh, which is like the kind of, like I said, we were kind of everywhere. Topics were everywhere. You did this and that, and we kind of were writing things that didn't have a lot of connection. And don't get me wrong, I like what we did with Spirit versus Flesh. It was a great album. My point is that we could do better. And we are going to do better. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be like Tradiciones type of, style and beyond, right? C26 is in the house too. What up, C26? He's one of the.
What up, legend?
He's one of the legends from Foundation. And what I like about Foundation, I keep saying this, is they have a lot of music videos out. You guys can go watch their music videos. These guys have done work. We don't have any music videos together. Enoch has one by himself, but we never did any music videos for our album. It's not easy to do those. But these guys have more music videos than we have songs. So in here, I'm going to play a song by Enoch. I actually had it open here, ready to play. And I'm like, any last thoughts? And I forgot about the song. I'm going to play a song by Enoch from his new album that came out, Tradiciones. And this song is just basically spitting the different names of saints, Catholic saints. It's like authentically Catholic. I mean, I know there's people who hated on this song. I'm thinking like, how can you hate on this song? And of course you have people that will find anything to hate on. But I'm going to play this song, and it's actually one of my favorites from the album. So let me know if you guys can hear it.
We can hear it.
We talk about all six, Achilles, Agatha, Agnes, August, and the Ambrose, the Anselm, Alphonsus, Bees and Bernards, Bridget, Ablaze, the Boniface, Bruna, Basil, the Great, Catherine, Cecilia, Cornelius, the Popes, Cyprian, Cyrus, Clement of Rome, Damien, Dominic, Dennis, and Ephraim, and Francis, and Cece, the Sales, Lord bless them. Yeah, I went from sinner to saint, walking there was straight to the gate, you gon' know my name. See, I ain't looking for fame, kept my eyes on the prize, canonized, you gon' know my name. I went from sinner to saint. Walked the nail straight to the gate. You gon' know my name. See, I ain't looking for fame. Kept my eyes on the prize. Canonized, you gon' know my name. Francis Xavier, the Gabriel, George, and the Gregory, a guardian angel, the prayers of the faithful. Isaac, Ignatius, the bishops, and martyrs, and John of the cross, and Chrysostom, apostle, Joseph, the Lawrence, the Moffat, the doctors, the Maxim, Kobe, Martha, the Taurus, the Order, Panobis, Nicholas, and Norbert, Our Lady of Lords, Peter and Paul, Neri and Polycarp, Leo, Linus, Aquinas, Timothy and Titus, St. Thomas More with a problem with divorce, Vincent Ferrers and the Vincent de Paul, John of God, the Saint Dismas right on the cross. We cried to the Lord, Sebastian, Scholastica, Avila, greatest of all time, the sinless mother of God. Yeah, I went from sinner to saint, walked the nail straight to the gate. You gon' know my name. See, I ain't looking for fame, kept my eyes on the prize, canonized. You gon' know my name. I went from sinner to saint, walked the nail straight to the gate.
Yeah, and the hook repeats.
See, I ain't looking for fame, kept my eyes on the prize, canonized. You gon' know my name. You gonna know my name. You gonna know my name. My name. You gonna know my name. You gonna know my name. My name. You gonna know.
All right, and a lot of you have heard the song. For those who haven't, that's from Enoch's album Traditiones, which you can see the cover right there with him, the pipe, Mother Mary, right there. It's a really nice, cool album cover. If you haven't, subscribe to his Spotify. You can get the songs on Amazon Music. If you're a member of Amazon Music, you can just download all the songs, the whole album. You can even get it on iTunes. Everywhere you can think of, it's out there. Don't be shy. Pick it up. He put a lot of work in it, and it would be nice to get everyone to spread it out. So we have a question from Fonzie, one of the members of Found Nation, and
Yep.
he's asking, why the title? Why did you name it Traditiones?
That's a great question. Fonzie, appreciate it. But I named it Traditiones because I wanted to display the entire Traditiones, which is Latin, which means of the tradition. And I wanted to display because there's some crazy stuff going on in the world right now, especially with the left pretty much attacking anything that is of the divine and natural law. I wanted to make an album, call it Traditiones, specifically because I wanted the content of the album to be as traditional as possible. Not only a tradition of Catholicism and theology and liturgy, but also in the sense of tradition of the natural law, that there's only men and women, that there's only two genders, that the proper family is wife and husband and children. And so that's why I call it Traditiones, because I wanted to directly attack the left and the secular world and come up with an album called Traditiones. And what inspired the album? I heard the other question. What inspired the album? Be honest with you, I don't know. I would say the Holy Ghost, God willing. But I made one song and it just kept going. Just the inspiration was there, so I just rolled with it. So, and the awesome thing about it was my wife said that because I recorded all the songs after the kids had gone to sleep, I wrote during the day, I recorded in the evenings, and I sent it off to be mixed. Fully mixed. I did a little bit of mixing myself, but I sent it out to be fully mixed and mastered. And my wife said to me, she said that you could have come outside, handed me an album, and I would not have even known that you put that together, because I wanted to make sure that family life came first, and this was second to it. So this is why it took me 6 months to complete. So that was the whole spiel about the album.
Yeah, and you also recorded more than what the album had, right? You had like triple the amount of songs.
Yeah, I had about 25 songs. Actually, I had about 22 songs. I ended up picking 12 for the album. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah, and that's usually what happens is you'll pick the best ones. So Chris, if you guys don't know Chris, he's always dogging on me as a joke, and I love it because it's hilarious. So he's asking this: are you happy with how track 12 turned out? He's asking this because I was on track 12. He had to probably go look this up and see what track number I was in really quick just to see like which one was Elijah in. Are you happy? I'll answer this question. I was not happy with how track 12 turned out. Not because of your verse, but because that was the first verse I recorded in like 10, maybe like 11, 9 years, I would say maybe 8-9 years. It's been a while, right? And so I was like, and to be honest with you, it was the lyrics that I wrote weren't written for that song. I wrote those lyrics like 13 years ago for another song that we did that we never released, and we didn't do anything with it. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use this because I don't feel like writing anymore, right?
Yeah, you got lazy.
I got lazy with it, right? So, but it still worked, right? It still worked.
Right.
But my verse sounded a little like old school rap. People liked it. I wasn't a big fan, but you're your biggest critic.
Right.
But he's asking you, are you happy with how track 12 turned out?
Yeah, I'm really happy. That it wants to know that song is called "Glory to God," and it does have an old school sound to it. I'm happy the way the final product turned out. It's actually a verse I'm very proud of. So yeah, I'm definitely happy about that one.
Awesome. And by the way, after Enoch came out with the album, now I have the desire to write. And don't get me wrong, like now I just want to like sit in this room, and this is my basement, and just write lyrics. And I'm surprised as to how fast that I can write still. I'm just like, wow, like it just comes, I was just sitting in the living room just writing. And my wife always is like, let me hear what you have, and I'll rap it, or I'll tell her what I have. And then like 30 seconds later, I have like 8 more lines, and she goes, "You just came up with that right now?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like and you know that, right? It'll just flow to you sometimes, and sometimes you have like what they call writer's block. Right now, thank God I don't have that, but I'm sure I'll get that at some point. Right now, it's just flowing. It's like I just want to write and write and write as much as I can.
Right.
Any other questions out there? Let us know. DJ Next is in the house. I love the album. I've been listening to it for a week now. That's a tougher answer than I was expecting. Oh man, we should have Chris on one day, just to make people laugh.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, as you want to tell them what we got lined up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. So we're gonna have John Levi. We're gonna interview John Levi, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
Obviously, apparently, we're gonna interview all the Foundation members. They all consented live on the chat. So we'll line them up one by one. We'll interview one by one. We'll have I keep forgetting his name. Something Beats. You mentioned him earlier. What was his name?
Hollow Beats. We'll have Hollow Beats on there.
Beats. We're gonna have Hollow Beats on there. We're gonna have some reactionary video. We're gonna listen to like Catholic rap, and then we're gonna react to it. We haven't heard all the Catholic rap songs out there in the world, so we want to listen to some of them for the first time live and kind of have a reaction to it. We're also gonna do, and this is gonna be one of my favorite things, is we're gonna take each song from Enoch's album. We're gonna do one show per song, so it's gonna be 12, or I don't know how many. I think 12-track album, right? We're gonna be 12 shows just on each song, and he's gonna sit there and tell you the lyrics. We're gonna look at the lyrics, and we're gonna break it down for you as to what he's saying, what he means, why he wrote it, what inspired it. Kind of like get in depth into it. I don't know why I still have this up here. Let me get rid of this. And he's going to go through each song, talk about it. It's going to be really cool. There's so many things that we have lined up. There's not enough time to do it all. Enoch's wife is ready to pop any second, really, any minute, any hour, any day. She's ready to go for their 4th baby.
Figuratively and physically, yes.
Yeah, right. and so we're probably going to have to maybe take a little pause for a week or two once the baby's is here. Pray for them, please. Pray for the health of the baby, the health of the mother. Pray
Thank
for
you.
everything that goes around that
Right.
that stressful and beautiful situation, an event. So any other questions? And Joseph Cunningham, he's one of our good friends. He says in the
And
commentaries, like St. John of the Cross commentaries on his poems.
so, Joseph Cunningham is he's Elijah, he's and I'm Alicia. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he used to be on the stage with us sometimes.
Oh man, Catholic hip hop is going on. So that's a good question. Can you highlight Fonzie? Yeah, I want to address this. This is an important question. If you don't mind, Elijah, I want to just 2 more things before we leave it and call it a night. First of all, is I want to say regarding the folks who think that hip hop is intrinsically evil. Let me just break it down just very briefly here. Music, like man, has its hierarchies and its faculties. Man has the intellect, the will, and then the passions. Music, because comes from within man, also has its own hierarchy. Which is the harmony, the harmony, the melody, and then the rhythm. Songs, music that are actually conformed to the proper hierarchy of music are going to be chant, which is melody, harmony, because it's simplistic and it appeals to the intellect. Then you have harmony, which is more towards the heart, more towards the will, I guess you would say. And then you have music, which is more rhythmic, what we call syncopated music. And that right there is what's rap, jazz, rock, country, things that you didn't think were syncopated are syncopated. So things that are accepted like country among the trads, but rap is not. And I think the reason is because the history of rap comes from its content, to the fact that the lyrics are aggressive, they're demeaning, they're degrading, they're blasphemous, right? But the music itself is not intrinsically evil, and it can be consumed in moderation, so that the person can build virtue towards it. The same thing that you consume television in moderation, or you eat in moderation. These things are not evil in of itself. But there are things that on television that makes it evil, that you should not watch, that actually violates the principle of the integral good. And rap is the same thing. In of itself is not intrinsically evil, because although the music is syncopated, listening to it in moderation is okay, especially because it's what it's meant to do. It's rhythmic. It's meant for a soldier in the battlefield, or a person in the gym, or if you're trying to get trying to get pumped up for something. It's good for that. It gets the rhythm going, because we're rhythmic people as well. But once the song, on a rap song or any song, once the song is blasphemous, or once the song in itself has once the song has what's called a blasphemy or immodesty, then that song should be shut off immediately. So that's my answer to the folks who say you can't be Catholic or listen to rap at the same time. And because if you listen to Foundation, you listen to us, listen to a lot of Joe Melendres, all these Catholic rappers out there, we're actually glorifying God in our words, just using that medium, that style of music. So I would say if you listen to Traditionis, there's a lot of hidden meaning. There's a lot of deep theological understanding of the album. There's a lot of history. There's patristic. There's scholastic understanding. It's very Thomistic in some of the songs. So this is what I really wanted to do, is I want to take that, And so the final thing I want to say is a disclaimer. We are not advocating, nor will we ever advocate, that any of these songs, neither rap or folk music or country music or rock or anything that even is remotely Catholic in content or in lyrics, even that in of itself, I would say, does not belong in the Roman liturgy. I think the liturgy should specifically be Gregorian chant and some polyphony, if if needs be, or for the exception. But the rule, I think, should be Gregorian chant, and the Catholic Church still holds that position. Even after Vatican II, if you look at Sacrosanctum Concilium, which is the final document of Vatican II's understanding of the liturgy. Even when Pius V changed it, even when you have B16 talk about these things, it was all about having the Gregorian chant as the main music in the liturgy. So I will have to make this disclaimer. We do not advocate whatsoever Catholic hip hop or any type of hip hop or any rhythmic or any, what we call praise and worship music. We don't tolerate that in the liturgy. This is just for consumption in your own, in moderation, for you to promote Catholic artists and to be inspired by Catholic music. So that's my spiel.
And you say, you say that. Just a quick question, follow up here. That's a great answer. You say it's not supposed to be played in a Roman liturgy. Can it be played in a Chaldean liturgy by any chance?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure.
No. Yeah, most people here are Roman. That's why I said that.
I know, I'm just joking. So
it couldn't be played in the Chaldean. And by the way, Mag's Music is here. We're going to have her on too as a guest, and she has a unique voice, a unique style. Check her out on Spotify, the Mag's Music, because she's got an incredible style of music, and I would like for her to get into a studio one of these days and put out an actual record. I think she's going to surprise and inspire a lot of people there.
That'll be incredible. When you were answering the question about the liturgy and Catholic rap and stuff like that, why it's not intrinsically evil, it was a great answer. But when Joseph Cunningham said word to what you said, to me, that was like, all right, now it's like dogma.
Well, the student of St. Thomas himself gives us the thumbs up, and we're good. We're good to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and any final thoughts? Anything you want to say? Any final questions? And anybody has anything else to say? This is the time to do it. Last thing I want to say is the only way we can get this channel out there is if you guys share this. If you just hit like, that'll help us. If you comment and let us know who you want us to interview. Tell us what kind of songs you want us to make as far as topics. What do you guys want us to write about? Give us some ideas, things like that. Comment, like, subscribe, share. It's not that hard. We're not asking you for any money. We're just asking you to do those things at a minimum would help us a lot, right? And then if you want to go beyond, pick up Enoch's album. He it obviously comes from his pocket. And he takes time out of his family to do this, to give you guys his music. Even though he didn't spend that much. I don't think he spent that much on the sock that you put on the microphone so that way.
It was my kid's sock.
Okay, that makes it a little cheaper. That's good. So yeah, I mean, anybody else have anything to say? What is the title of a song I can search for? So somebody's asking here, do you know how to answer that? A song that you can search for Mags?
Yeah, if you go onto Instagram and you put in the Mag's Music, THEMAGGS music, you should be able to find her on there. She has her link tree. So that's her name, Margaret Knapp.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so it looks like the song title is Temporary. So check her out on she has a unique voice and a unique artist. So yeah, definitely check that out. And then I think Fonzie said we need an imprimatur on a Catholic hip hop. Well, now that we have a hip hop bishop in New York, I guess that might be possible. So
that'll be crazy. Yeah, that'll be crazy. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, listening, watching, whatever you're doing. God bless everybody, and I will leave it to Enoch to send us out here.
Yeah, so yeah, God bless you guys. We'll be back again very soon with interviews, and in a few days I'll be releasing the lyric video for "Die for This." It's going to be in a lyric form, so you guys can look into words, the lyrics as the song plays. So that's that. God bless you guys, and we'll see y'all soon.